Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be?
Welcome back to the PBC, Pelican Bay's Corner, where I give it to my brothers and sisters, fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Some gonna like it and some ain't, just the way it is. Hope everybody having a great day, great morning, great evening. Just depends on where you're at in this world when you're watching this video, what continent you're on when you're watching this video. We got some dog news, some dog talk to speak about today. And I'm gonna touch on a few topics when it comes to this pit bull game, this pit bull community, like I always do. And I may go live later on in the evening, but if not, I'll catch you on the Saturday Night Live. You know, I'm gonna say one of the first topics I want to speak about is the brother said that the picture that I showed y'all off of the Chico Lopez dog when he was a young buck or whatever. You know, I'm not gonna stay on this long because, you know, folk always find a way to criticize somebody else's bulldog game when they was, say, we talking the golden age. What was y'all doing? What was y'all? You have no pictures, you have no proof. All you got is a bunch of opinions and conversation about what the next man was doing back in the days when you was that same age. And a lot, like I said before, a lot of these brothers, they just start bulldogging over the last decade, last 10 years. Just start bulldogging, you know? And you have so many opinions about this stuff, you know. Now I'm gonna say this: I never seen a merl dog. You know, brothers want to say that dog Chico Lopez had back when it was supposed to be his first dog was a merl dog, and somehow or another, I guess that's supposed to take his credibility, or knock it down, or some other kind. All I know is I never seen a merl dog in the pit bull breed until the 2000 era. I never seen a merl pit bull back in them days. You know. It was something. It was a sight to see in the 90s, to see a blue dog in the 90s. You know, that was a sight to see. So you're talking about merl pit bulls is something different. And we talking about real pit bulls. We're not talking about no bully dogs. You know, we're talking about real pit bulls. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't even see a merl Staffordshire Terrier back in the 90s, you know. And like I said, that's all a part of the plot to make it seem like these dogs are part of the program. Merl, blues, and all this other stuff is part of the program. Like I told y'all, if you keep on with these brothers with these shenanigans in these groups and all these different things with all these whack ass opinions, if you keep on, in the next 10 years, you'll be saying you got blue Red Boy Jocko dogs, you got blue Jeep dogs, you got blue Bolio dogs, you got blue Rascal dogs, you know, and all these other color dogs, and merl Jeep dogs, and merl Red Boy Jocko dogs. You know, these aren't regular colors for the breed. And we're going to speak about that as well, the colors. These aren't regular colors for the breed, but you trying to do it the way these folk is having unusual stuff on TV and try to make it normal. You're trying to make it normal for man on man. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to relations. So you put it out there for us to see it all in our face every day. You're trying to force it on us. Y'all trying to force that merl stuff into the game. You're trying to force that blue stuff into the game. You know? And we done seen some of these black dogs that may throw blue dogs, grayish color dogs. You know, we done seen it. But, you know, and we can have an arguing debate or go back and forth with a debate when it comes to the blue. But that merl is no way in hell we're going to have a debate about a merl pit bull. You know, when it comes to any breed of dog that's merl, if your dog is merl and they don't come that way, it's only a couple dogs that come merl. And like I told you, the Australian Shepherd is one of them. The Catahoula, dog is one of them. And I'm not sure if the Catahoula don't got Australian Shepherd in it. You see? There may be some Australian Shepherd because that's a hound dog. The Catahoula, you know, they may have put some Australian Shepherd in that to get the merl in that. There's only a handful of dogs that's naturally merl. And I'm talking about in all the breeds. There's only a handful of them that's naturally merl. So when you're talking about merl and the pit bull and the brother Chico, you got to look at the picture, man. Look at the picture and you'll see that, like the brother Trevor said the other night in the chat when we was talking about the Jeep dog, the picture's looking different. You'll see different lighting. You know, you'll see, look at the picture and you see brown brindle. Anybody who know what a light color brown brindle dog is, not the dark brown brindle, but a light color where it's almost the brown sections of them is like a light color tan, outlined by black, and you have your stripes and stuff in it. It may even be a little white stripe in it time to time. But when you take a picture of that, and you take a picture of that, and back in the days, the camera's not like the cameras is now, and you talking about a photo that done aged for 40 years, it'll fool you. Oh, this merl. No, look at that dog. Look at that dog ass end. You see brown brindle. Look at that dog head. You see brown brindle. Because it look like it's a little light color brindle on the rib section right here. Brothers want to say it's merl. It ain't merl, man. Keep that shit over there in the pocket pits, the micro pits, them bullies, and all that other shit. You know, like I said before, anybody who got merl dog and a bull bred dog, I don't care if it's a Presa Canary, Cane Corso, because I don't know everything about them dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still learning some things about pit bulls. But I'm talking about all them dogs from boxer, from the regular boxer, Cane Corso, Presa Canary, American Pit Bull Terrier, Bully Dog, Micros, Exotics, any of the dog with bull breed in it. If you got merl, a merl colored dog, your dog got some of them either Catahoula or Australian Shepherd in it. One or the other. And you didn't do it. Somebody else did it many years before you did. And I ain't talking about many years that go back to where them pit bulls go at. I'm talking about many years that go back to about 2000, 2001, 2002, 1999, 2003. Somewhere around that area, they threw some Australian Shepherd in your dog, and they went back into the breed of the dog. You know, oh man, how these dogs will look with this color. That'll be pretty. That'll be pretty. Make these dogs this color. Breed them to this. You know, and in some cases, the breeders didn't even make the breeder. The dogs did it on their own when they were straight, running around straight. They used to just so happen to get, oh, look at that spotted color pit bull. Now it's in the dog shelter. And like we always say, the shelters didn't spade and neuter all the time back in the days. You know, that's just more modern stuff that they've been doing over the past, I guess, 15 years, 20 years. Now these dogs done went in the stray, done went wild, done screwed this dog and that dog, and now he got a funny looking color, and now y'all bring that back to y'all program, you know, and try to act like that's normal. That ain't normal. You know, that's not normal at all. And real pit bull brothers know that's not normal, and we're not gonna accept that as is normal. You know? So, I mean, you can feel how you want to feel about it. You know, it's your opinion to make. Everybody got an opinion about certain things, no matter if they qualify to make an opinion or not. You know, it just is what it is. You know, is what it is. Now, you know, and I speak about that to speak about this. Brother said, if colors don't matter with the pit bulls, why don't we have as many white champions as we have the black ones, the red ones, the buckskin, or blah, 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 you know? And I'm going to answer that question for the brother. Now, I told y'all, when you make statements in this pit bull game, some people, and I'm not saying about this particular brother, some people comprehend what you're saying, some people don't, you know? Some people just don't understand, man. When you make statements, some people just don't understand what you're saying. Now, this is a good point here. when I told y'all colors do matter when it comes to the pit bull. Colors do matter when it comes to every dog. Not the way you want it to make it seem. You know, when I say colors matter, so if I can sell you a white Rottweiler, can I sell you a white Rottweiler and tell you that's full-blooded Rottweiler? You know, can I sell you a merl Doberman Pinscher and tell you that's full-blooded Doberman Pinscher? The bloodline go all the way back to the 1800s. Can I tell you that? Maybe I can, but to a person that know the breed, can I tell you that that's full-blooded Doberman Pinscher being merl? You know, colors do matter. You see? Can I sell you a blue Rottweiler? A gray Rottweiler, what they're calling, a blue line rock. Can I sell you one of those? Colors matter. That's why I said about the pit bull, colors matter. But I didn't mean colors matter in the quality of the dog that you get. Colors matter in the standards of the breed of the dog you getting. From Chihuahuas to Pomeranians to Bulldogs, English Bulldogs, American Bulldogs, Bull Terriers, you know, Huskies, German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois. Can I sell you a white Belgian Malinois and tell you that it's full-blooded? Can I sell you a white Belgian Malinois, you know, and tell you that it's full-blooded? Colors matter to the standards is what I'm saying. Is what I'm explaining for the second time. You know, because that's what I do. If brothers don't understand something, I got to explain it to where you can understand it and do understand it. That has nothing to do with which colors perform the best. It's the standards of the breed is what I'm talking about. Why colors matter. When brothers start talking about that colors don't matter stuff, when it comes to pit bulls, that's when you start trying to influx and bring all them different colors that was never existing in the pit bulls and claiming that these dogs come this way. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, these sour apple pit bulls, or these tangerine pit bulls, or these, you're making up all kind of shit as the years go along and try to make it where it's the norm. Like I said, you got a merl, that's not full pit bull back to the 1800s. You got a silver with that white and they producing blues, that's not full pit bull all the way back to the 1800s. Even Bellin, the Bellin group, they had the blues and all type of stuff. You know, respect to their camp and what they're doing. But I'm going to tell you now, blue is not a color that was the original color for a pit bull. If it was, why we don't got, if blue was the original color for a pit bull, we'll have blue in every damn color of pit bull it is. Every bloodline, I mean. Every single bloodline would have blue, Red Boy Jocko blues, Eli blues, Red Boy blues. It'll be blue in all the lines, not just what one particular camp got. You see? And the reason why I say it will be in all lines, because you got all the other colors in all lines. You got black Red Boy dogs, you got brindle Red Boy dogs, you got red Red Boy dogs, white Red Boy dogs. Why wouldn't you have blue? If blue was an official color for American Pit Bull Terrier back in the wee days when Mr. Kobe them was out. If blue dogs was out the way y'all want to claim they was out, they would be in everybody dogs in modern day time. They would have the genes in them. Everybody dogs will have the genes to produce blue dogs. They say them genes got to be present in the dog in order for your puppies to come out blue. Everybody dogs will have them in them. If the blue dogs were just that, and you trying to tell me the silver color wouldn't have been popular to own back in them days? Come on, get real now. The silver color would have been one of the most popular dogs to own in the 1920s, 1930s. Jack Johnson taking pictures with Mr. Kobe and them. You don't think he would have loved to take a picture with one of them nice silver looking dogs? unique color looking dogs. And like I said, you know, once you breed them dogs into your program, into your family, whether you breed to another blue after that or not, the genes are in the dog. So the dog can produce blue color dogs, you know, especially when it meets another blue dog, another dog with blue genes in it. Yeah, it's buckskin, but it got blue genes in it. It don't look no blue, but it got genes in it to produce blue if matched up again with a female or a male with the same genes in it. Y'all trying and more of the blue than the merl, but they trying hard, so hard to put these blue dogs as the official colors for the American Pit Bull Terrier. And like I said, this is no knock to the Bellin group and what they was doing with the dogs, because they had a lot of blue dogs, you know. But I'm gonna tell you, man, if the blue was an official color, you have Mexican Eli blues, you have Cardenas blues, you have who else? Mr. Boudreaux blues. Not just a blue when you breed a lot of black together, inbreeding, you get a blue dog. Then that's the possible way to get you a blue. But the way I'm talking about is them light silver color blues mostly, and blue and white all in the chest. The blue that we seen from Mr. Boudreaux stock was pretty much all blue with a white diamond in the chest. Not talking about that. I'm talking about them light silver color dogs that's producing more blues. Once you make that, well, that's a norm, oh man. And once you have any group of brothers that believe that shit, or any generation of dog men that believe these blues are regular, they're gonna slip them on in. That's when you're gonna see your big Mayday blue dogs. You're gonna see, like I said, your red boy, Big John, big blue dogs. You're gonna see your red boy, Boomer, Cottonham Boomer stuff. You're gonna see your Salmon and Arab Boomer, blue dogs. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see your Boomerang, blue dogs. You're gonna see your Crutchfield's Arts, blue dogs. You know, you're gonna see all them dogs, the Kingfish dogs, blue dogs. That we speaking about from back in the days. Your Rascal stuff, your Trans Rascal, blue. Your Crenshaw Rascal, blue. Your Jeep, your Honey Bunch, blue. Once you make that norm, once the generation of dog men come in and accept that shit, you see, they trying so hard to make you accept it. And what I want to say is, because what I'm saying don't mean that these brothers don't have blue dogs that can win matches, that have blue dogs that can become champions or grand champions. That don't mean that won't happen. You know, I'm quite sure they got brothers out there that got blue dogs that made champion, that made grand champion. But my only point of the statement is, in order to get that color, something had to be added to the sauce somewhere down the line. Now, I've seen several UKC Staffordshire dogs back in the 90s with that blue fawn color, blue color. You know, one will say, you have people that say staffs and pits are the same thing. They just went this way with the breeding with the staffs, went this way with the breeding with the pits. In my opinion, you know, even in the Staffordshire Terriers, in order to get that blue in the Staffordshire Terriers, UKC brand dogs, you still had to add some that wasn't in the breed when they made the departure. When they start going this way and they start going that way, something wasn't, maybe them people in Europe added something, you know. You see, that's the difference between the European breeders and the American breeders. We had that dog from Europe from the time of migration, the Great Migration in the 1800s. We never came with blue dogs. But when the dogs split and they want to say, oh, these kind is made for fighting and these kind we're going to breed them for show. The UKC, United Kennel Club, once it went that way, and AKC, some of them AKC. That's when you start seeing your blue trickle in. You know, your gray dogs, your dogs with a blue tint to them, brindle dogs with blue tints to them and all kind of stuff. You start seeing all that trickle in. Now, I will say this, you know, when it comes to them blues. Maul Cat, the only one that try to shit y'all brothers, and you act like you couldn't see this. He the only one that try to shit y'all brothers like that blue color that came on the hog dogs. That dog, them dogs had Rottweiler and gray color in them. Rottweiler patterns with the gray color. He the only one that tried to shit y'all younger brothers that was a color that was supposed to be there. You know? You don't see none of the other breeders from back in the days talking about, oh, this a blue red boy, or this a blue Chinaman dog. You know? And like I said, we have had proof that the Boudreaux dogs have thrown blue colored dogs. You know? But no matter what that color is, the way it looked to the eye, genetically wise, in the genes, that dog don't have them blue genes in it. Them silver colored genes in it to throw off a dog the color of an Apple computer. You know what an Apple computer look like, right? A MacBook Pro or a MacBook look like, right? MacBook Air, any of them. You know what they look like, right? Your iPads. Those Boudreaux dogs don't have the genes in them. When you breed them close and they give you a silver, dark color black, they give you a dark color blue. Your silver, your blue color that comes from your black inbreeding. They don't give you that silver and white, you know? They don't give you that. And like I said, once the generation comes that starts to try to make that normal, then you're fucking up the breed just as much as you got. This is the thing, you got confiscations going on. So many pit bulls being seized across the world, across the country. They're not taking these papers with the dogs, they're taking the dogs. These brothers get stray dogs, they throw them back in the paper, using the papers with them. Oh, I got a rascal dog, this is a stray dog, he don't know what it's all for. He don't know how it's producing, but he about to make some money off them papers. You got that going on. You got brothers that's trying to normalize that blue color going on. Brothers that's stealing dogs and putting any kind of paper on them. Whatever paper they got laying around, they putting them on them. Going on. And then you're talking about how these dogs is better than this generation of dogs is better than this generation of dogs. And come on, man, be real. Be real with yourself. You see? And that's one thing we know for sure, that the 90s and the 80s and the 90s got above this generation now. And why we will see the dogs do different things than what they doing now. A lot of these dogs ain't red boy dogs. A lot of these dogs not Eli dogs. A lot of these dogs not Jeep dogs. A lot of these dogs not Bolio or Rascal dogs. You know, or whatever dogs they claiming to be. Well, back in that days they were coming directly off the dogs. Yeah, you had some people that would lie to you and trick you. Give you something that ain't bred the way it says bred. But compared to modern day time, you don't see it, you know. And that's why it's so important to know the breeding you're dealing with. That's why I rock with the blood I'm rocking with, and I'm good, you know. Because all the dogs got papers, but all the dogs ain't registered the way they say they is. Who cares? If they say this dog was all Big John and it ain't. One thing I know about the family of Walkmore dogs, they never bred out to your dogs. So whether they off Big John or off this dog, they still off their dogs. They ain't no Eli dogs, you know. They ain't no Jeep dogs. Or it might not be off Big John. It's off Little John, or it's off Split Ears, or it's off Hitler, or it's off Big John 2 or Big John 3, or it's off one of their dogs. See, you gotta get with a camp that you know really got the real deal shit and stick with the camp that you got and try to finesse and make the dogs that you got better. But you know that they really off these dogs. You know that they really off of them. And like I said, man, color don't matter when it comes to performance. Color do matter when it comes to breed standards. Maybe that'll help brothers understand what I'm talking about a little bit easier, because just because you have more buckskin than white champions, that don't mean color don't matter. That means you got these solid color dogs. Is when you breed them to a white dog, you're gonna get some white here, some white there. You're not gonna get, if I take a solid color dog and breed it to a white dog, it's a very low chance that the whole litter come out white. And then you take dogs from that litter and breed back to other solid color dogs, whether it's red, black, brown, buckskin, it don't make no difference, but it's solid. Or if they cow patch, they still got colors in them. So you taking it's over a period of time, it's harder to find and harder to have white solid dogs, or dogs that's majority white, because of the breeding that you're doing. It ain't got nothing to do with the performance. Because you got a white dog, you think he gonna underperform a buckskin dog? And then you get your ass out there and get your ass kicked by an all white dog. They just rare. It's gonna be rare because of the fact of the breeding, and the majority of the dogs got some type of color to them. Even when you go back in the days and look at all the old pictures, you see some white dogs, and white was more you'll see more white dogs back in the days than what you see now. Some brothers got taboo on the white dogs, and they go away, they don't want to breed. You might have a good white dog and they don't want to breed to you because you got all white. Back in the days, I mean the 30s, the 20s, the 40s, they wouldn't have did like that. And when you go further, you go back in the days, the dogs are closer to the bull terrier dogs, and that's gonna be a color for them dogs, the white, solid white dogs. And the further you go back in this pit bull game, the closer you get to people that don't care about color, they care about performance. The closer you get to 2026, not only do they care about color, they care about papers. And when I say care about papers, I mean they want to have the going trend. Instead of breeding great dogs to great dogs, they want to go with the going trend. What dogs is popular right now? And while you're going with what dogs is popular, we all know, we done seen it over the past 10 years, your popular dogs ain't producing shit. Every 5 minutes, y'all talking about the European brothers breeding this, and if you listen to some of these American breeders that really don't know the game and try to push that bullshit onto the other brothers that really don't know the game, if you listen to that, you'll think the Mexican brothers is breeding better than American brothers. The European brothers is breeding better than American brothers. But when y'all get these dogs from these other places and you bring them to America, you get your ass whipped with these dogs. We done spoke about this one time in my video. The brother said he'd been in Mexico and they did the 20 count to cross that scratch. 20 whole seconds to cross that scratch line. Do you know what that means? Do you know what 20 whole seconds to cross that scratch line means for a whole lot of brothers on this American soil that lost their money throughout the golden age? Back in the days, that lost their money because they didn't make it across at 10 seconds. They made it across at 12 seconds. Match continues. Now these dogs would have possibly been winners if they would have had 20 seconds to cross the line. I told you already in multiple videos from the past that I did. These countries that y'all like to say is this thing is legal at, there's no country in this fucking world that dog fighting is legal in. I done gave you dog busting in Brazil where they eating the dogs that lose. I done gave you dog busting in Mexico. I done gave you dog busting in all countries in Europe. A majority of the countries in Europe, the dog is banned. A lot of them, they got a line say, oh, these Labradors and this kind of dog and these kind of dogs. But then you hear brothers say they breeding better over there in Europe. But like I said, you get these same European dogs and you bring them over here trying to breed them, they ain't producing shit. But you got a name to say, oh, this is one of the dogs they talking about, we call them fad dogs. These one of the fad dogs for this 5 years. Oh, we talking about this dog. They running the Facebook talking about this dog, and they ain't breeding shit, ain't making nothing. You know? Don't produce shit. And then because your dog don't produce nothing, you get to getting up on these shows and talking about how you only get a good dog. Every litter you may get one good dog. Man, listen here, that's because you're breeding that bullshit. Your ratio low, you know. Your percentage is low. Your dog is not a good producer. Oh, so imagine when we talk about Grand Champion Yellow litter, when Yellow John produced Grand Champion Yellow with Miss Jocko, you think they only got one good dog off that litter? How about Grand Champion Yellow when he breeds the different dogs? You think they only got one good dog off that litter? That's why I tell you, it's a difference in production in different dogs. Don't compare no Eli production to no Yellow production. Don't compare Yellow production to Jeep production. You can compare them, but I'm talking about if the particular dog, now Jeep, he was throwing them. You telling me Jeep only threw one good dog a litter when he made puppies? Come on. No. Whole litters full of good puppies. Every dog can't do that. Like Brother Mayfield said, and this goes back to what he said. Some of the purest families, these brothers that had these dogs in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s, they bred certain ways. Some of them came from pure families, some of them didn't. You got brothers who preserved these dogs throughout them years from the pure families. It's what I said before. Look at the Kobe dogs. To this day, modern day time, the dogs with the Kobe in the background, with heavy Kobe stuff in the background, are some of your better producing dogs. No matter how you want to look at it. Every dog is not producing. So yeah, you may say, oh, this dog over here, percentages is, when you got these kind of dogs, that's what you need to start specifying. Oh, when you got these kind of dogs, you may get one good dog a litter. When you got these kind of dogs, you may have one game dog for every 20 dogs on your yard. And like I said before, there's no way in fuck I'm going to have 20 dogs on the yard and only one of these dogs I can put confidence in. It don't make no damn sense. What is your breeding? And then you come to Facebook and all this social media shit and lie about what you damn got. Now don't get me wrong. Yellow is not the only dog that throws down dogs with high percentages. But a lot of y'all don't take pride in your shit, and a lot of y'all don't want to be honest with yourself. You see? And that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, man. Being honest with yourself, Know the people that you're getting these dogs from, you know, and like we talk about scatterbred, line bred, inbred, and all that other stuff. There's a reason folk line breed. There's a reason folk inbreed. And then you get your battle dogs and your battle cross dogs, and they get out there and they, like I said before, I don't believe in the battle cross. You know, I see a lot of great dogs and I see the way they bred them or whatever. I don't believe in that statement is what I'm saying. I believe in what they did to get a great dog. Maybe 3 or 4 different line bred dogs going into it. You know, good gene pool, good healthy dogs. You know, good game dogs. But I don't believe in that term, battle bred. Every American pit bull terrier that exists should be battle bred. If it ain't, what the fuck is it? I just don't believe in that term. You know, oh, these brood dogs or these battle bred. Brood dogs, in my opinion, my definition of a brood dog is just as game as this other dog, but you're not trying to ruin the dog, lose the dog, so you're going to breed the dog to get more of them kind of dogs. Brood dog. That don't mean the dog cold. You know, he could be cold, but he producing great dogs. You know, it just means you not trying to sacrifice losing him or her to the square. You're going to breed him. It don't mean he not match quality. Mean you got bigger plans for this dog. That's all that mean, man. So when I hear brothers say battle bred, you know, you kind of really got to explain to me. Don't explain to me what kind of breeding it is, because I see that and I understand that, what kind of breeding it take to make a battle bred dog. Explain to me the difference between a battle bred dog and Grand Champion Yellow. Explain to me the difference between a battle bred dog and Mayday. Explain to me the difference between Yellow John and a battle bred dog. Performance-wise is what I'm saying. Not the way they bred, performance-wise. Explain to me the difference between Big John and a battle bred dog. Explain to me the difference between Andy Cap and a battle bred dog. You know, explain to me the difference between, like I say, Jeep and a battle bred dog. You know, Eli and a battle bred dog. Chinaman. Explain to me the difference between Chinaman and a battle bred dog. Performance-wise. You know, and some of these dogs I may be calling out may be what y'all consider battle bred. You know. Explain to me the difference between, you know, a lot of the great dogs and a battle bred dog performance-wise. You know, that's terms that's coming up, terms that brothers is using, you know, throughout the years. They try to, it's confusing the dog game. Them shit scatterbred. Scatterbred, line bred, inbred. And even if you didn't call it scatterbred, and you got a bunch of, because like I told you, in Europe, the European shepherd dogs, the working dogs, they want a lot of great dogs in the dog. So if I'm trying to put a lot of great dogs in this dog, and this dog turn out great in the square, and he may be a great producer, but there's always a chance that he not. And when you got these dogs with 10 bloodlines in them or 10 different famous dogs from all different families of dogs, you don't know where the traits are coming from. You got a litter of puppies. Now that's when you get your litter and you got 1 good dog in it. 2 good dogs and you had 10 puppies, you only got 2 good dogs in it. That's why you get these type of litters. Because them 2 dogs, they taking traits from this dog in the bottom side. Them other 8 dogs, they taking traits from the rest of the pedigree, and it might not be the best when it comes to breeding. Or they taking traits from one of the other dogs, and not even the rest of the pedigree. They taking traits of one of the other dogs in the pedigree, maybe 2 dogs in the pedigree out of the whole pedigree, and they ain't shit really. You know? So man, like I said, color matters and color don't matters. You know, there's no grading scale that says black dogs are better than white dogs. It's just the way you got so many black dogs, you start breeding these dogs, you're gonna have a small amount of white dogs. The only thing I see different between a white dog and a lot of these other colored dogs is the scars show on them a whole lot, a whole lot more, maybe. There's no proof, nobody can prove, or any write-up that anybody can pull up that say a white dog doesn't perform the way a buckskin black mask dog do, or a red black mask like Mayday color do. There's nobody got any type of evidence, any type of writing, any type of anything that can tell them a white dog is an underperformer, underachiever. But these the stories that these brothers take from and bring to social media, and you have so many people that's getting in the dog game. Every day you got somebody that's trying to get in the pit bull game, somebody that's trying to get in the pit bull game, and they go read this shit. They may read it before that may make them interested in the dog game, some of the stuff that they reading. And then they get to reading about the blues, they get to reading about the merls, they get to reading about the white dogs and these color dogs and them, and they take that to and put it in their brain, and that's the type of stuff they go to spewing off when they get in the dog conversation. No, man. Be real with yourself. And I'm going to get back to that in a few minutes. What I want to talk about now is a lot of brothers that don't know about this training stuff, a lot of brothers that don't know what a Malinois is. You see them on these videos. You haven't really dealt with these Malinois and all type of stuff like that. Let me explain something to you. You know? Because one of my brothers was talking with me, and he made a statement, you know, and I had to correct him, you know, because when you don't know, you don't know. And these brothers, and one thing I know about these pit bull brothers, because I see them and I dealt with pit bulls. One thing I know about these pit bull brothers, they believe these dogs can beat any damn thing out there. And I'm talking about your baddest pit bulls. They believe they can beat anything. I seen somebody make a picture of a pit bull grabbing look like what is an ox in the ribs, right? And the ox running, right? And you got people commenting up under it. Do you know in real life that would never happen? In real life, that ox would take that pit bull and toss his ass up. When he come back down, he had broke ribs and broke every damn thing. Trample that damn dog. But on that picture on social media, you got the pit bull grabbing the ox in the side and the ox looking terrified and running. And then we talking about dogs, right? You know, dogs. These brothers feel like the pit bull can beat every dog. And I done told y'all, pit bull cannot beat every dog. And it's proven fact. Some of these dogs is 2 times the size of these dogs with just as much fight as these dogs got, with maybe harder jaw pressure than these dogs got. But y'all, somehow or another, y'all think a pit bull can beat every damn thing. So me and my brother talking, and he says, if he coming down the alley and I'm coming down the alley, and his pit bull trained and my Malinois trained, that his pit bull gonna automatically jump on my pit bull, jump on my Malinois, and beat his ass, and then I'm not gonna have no protection. That shows me the ignorance when it comes to the breed of the Malinois. And the stereotype y'all want to run with these pit bulls. And I told y'all before, you know, y'all want to think because we got these dogs are the best dogs in the fucking world when it comes to aggression wise. You know, brute force wise. So let me show you a couple Malinois and how they get down. You know, you're gonna look at a Malinois grabbing that little pig. Look at how he's shaking them. Straight Malinois. That's exactly the same way they do a pit bull. You know, if a dog is smart enough to do all the things they do, and y'all talking about pit bulls being smart, he's staying out of danger, they being smart, they staying out. What you think that Molly-Wah gonna do when he clamp down on his ass? We're not talking about no curb biting like some German Shepherds may do or some other kind of dogs may do. We're not talking about no curb biting. We talking about clamping down and holding and shaking, tucking, all that. I done seen it all. Not just looking at it on no damn video, what I'm about to give y'all, you know. But look at these videos, and that just giving you a glimpse of what the Molly-Wah do. You know, these dogs aren't your average dog. Yeah, granted, they're not bred to fight. But when you get one of them in the fight, you got your ass a problem. Now what you gonna say? Oh man, your big badass pit bull got beat by a shepherd dog? Them dogs so long and rangy. Grab your pit bull by the top of the head and stay up out of that trouble that you talking about. He going in the back end, he going in the nuts, all that, this and that. Man, listen here, man. It ain't gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen. I can promise you that shit. So let's get into these videos, man, and then we gonna get back into it. So like I said, man, color don't matter. When it comes to performance, color do matter when it comes to breed standard. You know, when it comes to protection work and stuff like that, the police use Molly-Wahs for a reason. The Army use Molly-Wahs and Dutch Shepherds and German Shepherds for a reason. There's a reason they use these dogs. I tell a brother, if you thinking of pit bull, and I say this too, pit bulls can do anything the other dogs can do. But you gotta have common sense some damn time. You know? I take a pit bull puppy and I train it from 4 weeks old to 12 weeks old, right? 4 weeks to 12 weeks. Pit bull can't compare to a fucking Molly-Wah puppy being trained at 4 weeks to 12 weeks. Done did it. You can use any damn pit bull you want to damn use. A pit bull puppy can't compare to a Molly-Wah puppy from 4 to 12 weeks old when you're talking about training it for anything. That Molly-Wah you're gonna be accomplishing goals every other day with that Molly-Wah or the Dutch Shepherd or the German Shepherd when you're training it. You're gonna be accomplishing stuff every day. They excel when you're talking about training. They excel 20 times faster than a pit bull, which can be trained to do the same thing. You know, it can do the same thing, but you're not, the way them dogs bred, you're not going to compete with speed when it comes to training these dogs for these activities. By the time that Molly-Wah get 4 months old, man, your pit bull will probably take the damn close to a year old to learn all that shit. If we doing it every day, all day, we taking like a 9-hour job and we doing our training. With the pit bull, we doing our training with the Molly-Wah. It's gonna take, that pit gonna get it all down pat, but he not gonna get it down pat as fast as them shepherd dogs gonna get it. Them dogs come out the womb, like you say, the pits come out the womb wanna fight. Them shepherds come out the wombs wanna learn. Now it may hurt your feelings because I tell you that, but that's reality. A lot of folk don't wanna face reality. Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. You can train a pit bull to do anything. But you can ask anybody that dealt with Doberman pitchers, anybody that, even Rottweilers, you know, They're going to learn a whole lot faster than a pit bull is. They more stubborn. Pit bulls are. Their attention span is a whole lot shorter than these dogs that was bred for that. You see, a pit bull wasn't bred for that. You can't have it your way. You can't have your cake and eat it too, like they say. This way and then you want it this way. What was they bred for? Whether you do it or not, what was they bred for from the 1800s? To fight, to be dog aggressive, to be friendly to humans. So if a brother get some genes where his dog is people aggressive, you want to think that your dog's got just as much chance as being high quality protection dogs as these Mollywows and Shepherds and Doberman Pinschers. And when they don't go that way, dog. You know, it don't go that way. And like I said, when it comes to these dogs being sold for 100,000, 150,000, Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, Rottweilers, whatever they is, when they getting sold for that much of money, they titled dogs. They dogs that know how to do everything from the kitten to the caboodle. Every single thing. Not just bite no damn sleeve. You know what it costs to train a dog to do every single thing? You know how much time it takes you to train a dog to do every single thing? And when I say every single thing, I mean every single thing. Years worth of training. And I'm going to say this, a majority of the people in the pit bull game, you can't afford to get a real protection dog trained. Not saying I'm going to say it like this, you can afford it, you don't want to pay the prices because you underestimate the price what it takes to get a real protection dog. And that's why I said on my video before, you want to pay $1,500, $2,000 and think that's going to get you a protection dog. $3,000 and think that's going to get you a protection dog. You're sadly mistaken. And I'm going to say it again. There's a reason them dogs is $150,000, $125,000. You're not going to train no pit bull to bite, chase and bite a sleeve, or to growl at somebody when you say growl at them and think that dog going to go for $125,000. No, you're going to put that work in with that dog, you know. Most of the people, and I'm going to say this too, most of the people that you see with dogs for $125,000, they are the ones that train that dog. You talking about sending a puppy to somebody for real protection training? I'm talking about real protection training, then you're not going to see that puppy for a while. That dog will be grown dog when you get him back. Not only do I got to train the dog, I'm going to have to train you how to train the dog when you get the dog back. Or as time goes on. You got to be trained as well. You can't get no fully trained dog and come to that dog dumbfounded and think you're going to work him like a remote control. Because for one, you got to continue this type of training. You can't just go buy a dog like that and then once you buy him, he's never trained again. You got to continue the training. So how can you continue the training if I never teach you how to do the training? And we're talking about protection. We're talking about $150,000 dogs, $110,000 dogs, and more. You know, so man, hey, it just is what it is, you know. It is what it is. I appreciate brothers rocking with me today. I appreciate brothers and sisters down in the chat, everybody that watched the video. I appreciate everybody that was in the last couple lives, you know. It just is what it is, man. Giving these brothers and sisters this dog news, this dog talk, the way I do it. You know what I'm saying? Some gonna like it, and some ain't, man. Some gonna like it and some ain't. Some gonna comprehend it, some ain't. Some gonna get it and some ain't. That's what I always say. It ain't, a lot of this stuff ain't rocket science. You know? But a lot of times, because a brother own a pit bull, you want to give a pit bull more props than he really, gonna get in certain situations. You gotta, if you feel like a pit bull can do anything, show it. I feel like a pit bull can do anything, but I dealt with all other kind of breeds of dogs, and I know a pit bull don't catch on as fast as the other dogs do. Pit bulls aren't bred to bite people. So when you got a dog that's a year old, a pit bull, and he's not even human aggressive at all, then we got to work on this type of stuff. We got to work on that type of stuff. Then you got one that is human aggressive. He may be what we call a junkyard dog. You can't take him nowhere. You can't go chill with him somewhere and people walking past him and he ain't jumping up trying to bite everybody that get close to him. Every time somebody come close, he jumping up, want to grab their leg and all. That's not a protection dog. That's a dog that may protect you. And then like the brother said before, a lot of y'all think these dogs that they'll bite, they'll protect you until they get a real scenario. You get real stress on you. You know what I'm saying? Now they want to peel out and haul ass and run. Now they want to bark and run around you and bark and run around you. They ain't committed to the bite. Not committed to the bite. A lot of these dog attacks that we see, and I give you the news articles, you be like, oh, these pit bulls committed to the bite. No, they committed to jumping on a scared person. Biting on a scared person. A person that's in fear, a person that's screaming, hollering, running, trying to get away. So they biting them. When they jump at somebody and somebody running towards them, swinging stuff at them, is they gonna stay committed to the bite? So hey man, do your research on whatever you're trying to do when it comes to these dogs. You know what I'm saying? And just stay safe out there. Stay legal out there with these dogs. Preserve the breed the right way, like I always say. And everybody will be all right, man. It's your boy PBK on the PBC Pelican Bay's Corner, where I give it to you fair and unbiased. Another episode of some raw uncut. It is what it is. And we out.